But my beats, they are hard.
All right. Hello. Welcome to another live episode of the BCSN SportsWrap. I'm Bryan Fulford, live in my home studio. And as you can see there on that screen, that's A.D. Drew, who is live at the 2025 SIAC Baseball Tournament Championship game happening live right now between Savannah State University and Albany State University. Drew, breaking news. Somebody other than Spring Hill College will win the SIAC baseball tournament. Would you care to comment on how that happened?
Great game there in the semifinal game, Brian, and my article will come out later on today on Black College Nines. And I just want to personally thank Jay Sokol for contacting me with the after the unfortunate passing of Michael Coker, who was the lead writer for Black College Nines, and asked me, he's like, are you going to the SIAC? I was like, I might go because Morehouse wasn't in it. So he's like, do you mind covering it? I'm like, sure, why not? So I'm here live on location today. The other days I've been kind of watching and doing it remotely based on stats and what I've been able to watch on SIAC TV. But anyway, going back to your original question, Brian, it was a great game. Savannah State jumped up 3-0. They played at one. Just lost my page. They played at one in the first, one in the second, and one in the fifth to go up 3-0. And then Spring Hill decided to mount a comeback. They got one in the sixth, and then they got two in the seventh via the big fly to tie the score up at. That was two in the eighth to tie the score up via the big fly to right field. And Brian, it's 339 the right field line. If that ball went 335, I would be surprised, Brian. That ball barely cleared the fence down the right field line. But in a twist of irony, in the ninth inning, Savannah State hit a home run to right field to almost the same exact spot, and it cleared the wall by about the same distance to take a 4-3 lead. So after being walked down, Savannah State was able to hold on 4-3 in the losers bracket championship game, or the semifinals as we like to call it. And currently here in the championship game, Savannah State having to play back-to-back with the format that the SIAC is using this year. Albany State leads 5-2, and we are in the bottom of the fourth inning. Albany State has played a one run already in the bottom of the fourth inning. They have a runner on second with 2 outs.
All right. And as Drew eloquently put it, Albany State looking to win their first SIAC baseball tournament championship since 2018. Every year since in which a tournament has been played, Spring Hill College has won it. They were the defending 4-time tournament champions who lost today to Savannah State. Savannah State, let's see, they were last in the championship in 2023. And the year prior to that, Albany State was in it. So this is their third appearance since winning it back in 2018. And I'm getting all that out of the SIAC's tournament championship guide. So hopefully that's correct.
Didn't Edward Waters, I thought, won it last year?
I am looking at the SIAC's baseball tournament championship magazine, Drew. So
I was there. Edward Waters won it last year. I was there.
Well,
Edward Waters won it, and Savannah State was the representative because Edward Waters had not yet obtained full status into Division II. I was there, Brian.
Okay, I'm just going off of what. I knew something was weird because I remember seeing a tweet by Savannah State saying that that's the third consecutive year, and then I go and look at the baseball tournament championship media guide. It's on page 11, Drew. So you can go look at it yourself. On page 11, the champion was Spring Hill. The runner-up was Lane. I'm just reading what I'm given, Drew. So you're there. If you saw it, I'll take your word on
it. Trust me on that one, bro.
My apologies to Edward Waters and Coach Johnson and all our good friends over Edward Waters then, if that's the case. So my apologies. And my apologies to Savannah State as well, who, as they said, are in their third consecutive tournament. So all right. Well, right now the game is being broadcast on the SIAC network.tv. So if you're watching our show and you want to put up two streams, two browser tabs, whatever it is, you can pop over to SIAC network.tv and you can watch that game. Currently in the bottom of the fourth inning, as Drew said, Albany State with a 6-2 lead. And Drew, I remember when we broadcast, and that last time I was at the SIAC tournament, which was 2 or 3 years ago.
It was either 22 or 23.
Yeah, we've always talked about how challenging it is for the team that has to play that first game of the day to actually put two together. A tough spot for Savannah State to be in this particular situation. I don't know when is there. You may want to ask somebody and say, when's the last time somebody won 2 games on a Sunday to win the tournament? I'd be curious to know that.
Right. When is the last time we've even had the if game in the SIAC tournament?
Oh, well, see, I don't know. When we did the broadcast 2 years ago, there was an if game. Well, okay, maybe I'm not. So let me rephrase. When you say the if game, you mean if Albany State were to lose, there would be another game. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about. So it's the loser bracket game, which is earlier in the day. Is that correct? The loser
in this format this year, yes.
Okay, so I guess let me rephrase my question then. When's the last time somebody coming out of the loser bracket ended up winning the tournament championship?
Right, which means you would force the if game, and it has not happened since 2019, 2018, somewhere up in there, because that's when I started working the tournaments, and I have never worked an if game in the SIAC tournament. We've always got it done in the first game.
Okay.
So
let me take a quick second and say hello to a few folks. Some of you who have jumped in early. Say hello to everybody watching us on. If you're watching us on our YouTube page, MyJBN Online, Jericho Broadcast Networks, part of the Black College Sports Network. Or I should rephrase that. The Black College Sports Network is part of Jericho Broadcast Networks at MyJBN Online. Hello to our folks out there, Jeff Roberts, checking in, Aggie Pride, Mary 305, good friend and a JBN subscriber as well. Appreciate you, Mary. HBCU Band Talk checking in. Hail Wildcats. Good weekend series for the Wildcats, by the way. We'll talk about that here in a moment. G Boom also checking in. Good to see you, G Boom. Thanks for checking in. How did PV do this weekend, G Boom? Give us the updates and let us know how PV did. this weekend. You may also be watching us on Facebook, Black College Sports Network, BCSN SportsWrap, all channels on Facebook.com. Also watching us on Instagram Live. Say hello to watching us on Instagram Live, as well as X. All the people watching us on X, we say hello and appreciate you. Chris Dukes also checking in. Good to see you, Chris. Thank you for checking in with us. Okay, what were you going to add something in there, Drew?
This is the first time in a number of years that Albany State has not hosted the SIAC baseball tournament. And look where they're at when they don't host, Brian.
And again, where are you actually at? Give people again, where's the location where you're playing, where this game is being held at?
Let me make sure I get the name of this field correct. I am at Luther Williams Field in Macon, Georgia, and I am currently sitting in the U.S. Bank Pavilion, which is along the first base line here at this field. And this field used to be a former minor league park. It was last minor league affiliate of the Braves here in Macon, Georgia. And also, once upon a time, back in the 60s, back before you and I was thought about, Brian, the Cincinnati Reds had a minor league affiliate here, and even my St. Louis Cardinals had a minor league affiliate here in Macon, Georgia. They all played at this ballpark. But now this is they host an independent league here.
Okay. Let's transition while that SIAC is going on. There's another championship game that was played today, another baseball championship game played today. That was over in the HBCU AC. And, as previously mentioned, you've been doing some write-ups for blackcollege9s.com covering that championship. Give us the rundown on what occurred over at Dickey Stevens Park in Little Rock, Arkansas today.
Actually, let's back it up to yesterday.
Okay.
Did anybody happen to see the marathon yesterday between Steelman and Wiley?
I can't say I did.
That was a 13-inning marathon that no one wanted to win.
No one wanted to win?
No, the final score, I believe, was 13-9. But Steelman jumped out. Wiley walked him down. Steelman took the lead again. Wiley walked him down. Steelman has a 3-run lead going into the 9th inning. Wiley walks him down. And no one could do anything in the extra innings up until the 13th when Steelman decided to break open the can and go ahead and put that baby to bed. But Brian, between the two teams, there were at least 25 runners left on base, which means nobody wanted to win that particular ball game. So that set up and mind you, Brian, we talk about having to play 2 games in one day. Steelman, after a 13-inning marathon, has to stay and play Wiley in the losers bracket championship game, aka the semifinals, 45 minutes later.
That's tough.
Yeah,
tough.
That's tough. So Wiley was able to defeat Steelman on yesterday. Suno was able to defeat Steelman on yesterday in the semifinal in the game in order to set up today's championship game.
Suno was the 6th seed who started off the tournament with the big upset. I remember we talked about that on Doc's show Thursday.
They upset
and they kept
Steelman.
it going.
Yes.
So they knocked off the 3 seed, the 2 seed.
Lost to the 1.
To
knock them into the losers bracket.
Right.
And then once again, they beat the 3 seed to get back to the championship.
To get one more shot at the basically the number 1 team, not only in the HBCUAC but also in the Black College Nines poll, small division poll, right?
Right. 42 win Talladega. Let's make sure we get that correct.
Put some respect, exactly. Put some respect on that.
Put a little bit of respect on it. But and shout out to Suno. They are a team that will not go away, Brian. You know, it's like that bug that you get. You know, the bug. If you get ants around your house, they just won't go away, Brian, because you done spilled something
I'm
outside,
familiar.
and,
Familiar.
you
Very.
can't figure out what's sticky that's bringing them around. That's Suno, man. They will not. They
It's a
will
great
not go
analogy.
away. Even with the boric acid, they won't go away, my brother. But
Suno and the ants that won't go away. That's a great analogy. I don't know if they're gonna ride with that, but I mean it seems appropriate, right?
the nights that won't go away. Anyway, they succumb to Talladega 8-3 at Dickie Stevens Park on Sunday.
And so Talladega didn't quite finish with a unbeaten season. They did lose at least one or two games, if I'm not mistaken, during the year, right?
Yes, they
Conference year.
were. Let me get the. I got the conference record here. 27-3 in conference.
3 games. Okay, so it was
Yes,
3. Wow, what an amazing reign.
yes. Whereas Suno was 16-14 in conference, but Suno put it on at the right time.
Yeah.
They were the
Yeah.
hottest team coming in, and they continue to get hot. Let's quickly go down the story. Third inning, Talladega broke open the scoreless tie after Victor Riviera singled and eventually scored on a failed pickoff attempt. In the fourth inning, that puts Talladega up 1-0. Tornadoes added 3 more runs in the fourth inning uh, after a pair of runners reached 2 RBI single by Joshua Catala through the right side, played the 2 runs, and then he later came around to score as Riviera was driving him home to make the score to 4-0 in the fifth inning. Suno got on the board with 3 consecutive hits. Franklin and Avery single to start the inning off, and after a sacrifice bunt, Kyler Shepard poked an RBI single into to short infield single to score him to bring the score to 4-1 after 5. In the sixth inning, Dega added another run. Uh, Armando Jackson single, advanced on the stolen base, and scored on a perfectly sacrificed bunt. Talk about black college baseball at its best. Isn't it what you do, Brian? Get on first base, steal second, you know, bunt and hope for the best from there. That made the score 5-1. Dega will put 3 more on in the eighth inning. Uh, Sebastian Pizarro was hit by a pitch, stole second and third. Jaquan Evans walked and stole second. And then an RBI double down the left field line by Jackson. And then he was replaced by a speed up runner, and then that runner came around to score. But guess what? In the ninth inning, Brian, those ants came back. Here comes Suno. Down to the last 3 outs, Suno made one last pitch. Miles Bowens singled and Dylan Jimenez walked. Spriggs added his third hit of the day, and Hazaro followed with a clutch RBI single with the bases loaded. Shepard was hit by a pitch to force in another run, but with the bases full and 2 outs, Latigua flew out to right field to end the game.
All
So
right.
that's how it happened. Now, the good thing about this, Brian, in the NAIA, if you have more than 10 teams in your conference receives 2 bids. Your regular season champion shall receive a bid, and your tournament champion, or if your regular season champion is the tournament champion, the highest finisher outside of the regular season champion receives the bid. So Suno will receive a bid. Talladega will also receive a bid. And now the question is, Brian, uh, it was Talladega's resume good enough for them to be able to host the first round in the NAIA tournament? That will be the question that we'll find out on Wednesday when the NAIA selection show comes out.
Well, what's interesting is I just bumped around over to the NAIA baseball Go Route Coaches Top 25 final poll from April 30th. just to see, okay, do I see Talladega anywhere in the top 25? And guess what, Drew? Probably to no surprise to anybody, they're not ranked in the top 25. And you talked about them finishing their regular season with how many wins total?
42.
42. So, that would be one of the best win records among outside. I'm just looking here. There's only two. Let me see. 1, 2, 3. There's only 5 schools that might have more wins overall than them. Hell, I'm not even seeing in that last poll. I'm not even seeing them in the receiving votes. So I don't know what.
And unfortunately, that's a testament to the respect or lack thereof that the HBCU AC gets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, obviously.
Quick update from here in Macon, Georgia. Got a pitching change going on. Albany State is up 7-2, but Savannah State has runners on first and second with 2 down.
Okay. Good stuff. A few more shout outs to some folks checking in. Jamie Walker, good friend. Good to see you, brother. Thanks for checking in, joining in the show. Dr. Israel Carey, appreciate you checking in. Southbound 3000. A little frustrated with NIL. I wonder what he might be referring to. Jeremiah Clark. Good to see you, Jeremiah. Appreciate you checking in. EA in the house. Jimmy Mack checking in. Thanks for being a JBN subscriber. Most definitely got to give a shout out to
Omar Johnson.
Coach Omar Johnson of Jackson State, who won his 600th. I believe that's a career number. I remember we talked about this previously, that he would be on pace. I know I talked about this. I think I talked about this on Doc's show, that he was on pace to win 600. I can't recall if that was 600 at Jackson State or if that's 600 career.
Israel, help us out with that. Is that
Israel? Let me know.
At Jackson State, or is that over multiple schools? But irregardless of where those occurred at, Brian, that's still a hell of a number.
Oh, heck of a. Yeah, and I think the way I paced it is, I had the notes where I wrote them down, how many years he's been at Jackson State. So, I mean, it's an outstanding run. Appreciate you, Lennon, for checking in as well. Lennon Blow checking in, representing Behold, the Spartans. Good to have you on. So, we'll get into talking about some of the other news and notes out of the SWAC here in a second.
And there's one other tournament that went on also this week, Brian. That was in the CIAA, and that was actually 2 other tournaments. SIAC softball went on earlier in this week, and CIAA softball finished up on yesterday, I believe. I was going to get to talking about softball maybe when we come out of the break. That's fine.
So any other baseball? Well, let's transition while we're talking. Okay, so Israel says it's career win. So career win number 600 for Coach Omar Johnson. So congratulations to Coach Johnson for taking that. And okay, so Israel or Jeremiah comes in and said that's at JSU. 400 of those were at Tougaloo.
Well, versus Tougaloo.
Oh, versus Tougaloo. Okay. All right. Okay.
Savannah State just slated a run, Brian. That brings the score to 7-3, and we are in the top of the fifth inning. Excuse me, 7-4, Brian.
All right. 7-4. So if you are looking for some live in-game betting for a Division II baseball, I would take the over 14.5 right now. Even though I don't, if you somebody text me whenever you find a line or a place that you can bet Division II baseball, you let me know so I can go there. But just if there was, I would say play the over 14.5. I think there's going to be a lot of runs in the second half of this game. I'm just saying, right?
Yeah, especially like the question when you play that double in one day, Brian, how much pitching depth does Savannah State have? How many arms do they have available for this game? And should they force a if game, 3 games in 24 hours?
That's
What
tomorrow,
really?
right? The
Right,
if
it would
game
be
would be tomorrow.
tomorrow at 1 o'clock. So you're
Okay.
talking 3 games within 24 hours, Brian. You really testing your arms and your two ways, and because you use your bullpen, you use your midweeks already at this point in time if you're Savannah State.
Hmm. All right, all right. Let's jump over to baseball news in the
Uh, uh,
Southwestern
Brian,
Athletic Conference. Yeah.
Jeremiah says he doesn't know of any previous school where he was head coach at, that being Coach Johnson.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Appreciate that, Jeremiah. Appreciate that. Sitting here moving some tabs around and some other stuff. Again, Drew is live at the SIAC Baseball Championship in Macon, Georgia. So you guys are watching. Go ahead and flip that. Give them the other view, Drew, from the first baseline, if you would.
I can get my camera.
You
There
shared
we
that
go.
earlier. So there you go. Drew is live in Macon, Georgia at the SIC Baseball Championships. All right. Let's jump over to some action in the SWAC. Just some interesting scores. I think the highlight game or the highlight series in the SWAC again, going into this weekend, this is the first of the final 3 series in the season of the SWAC regular season. And Bethune-Cookman's lead going into this weekend was cut down to 2 after losing their first series of the season to UAPB last week. Well, going into this matchup against second place Alabama State, Bethune-Cookman would end up sweeping. That's right, sweeping Alabama State in a series of some very close games. I'm trying to pull up the schedule on those games, and all these games were at home for Bethune. Let's see. On Friday night, they managed to pull out a 10-9 win over Alabama State. Then on Saturday, I believe they had a doubleheader on Saturday.
Yes, Bethune won 4-3 in game 1 and 8-5 in game 2, Brian.
So we're talking a pair of 1-run games and then a 3-run game to close it out. So I know there were some folks who were wondering about the demise of Bethune, given the fact that they were, especially without Tanner Boccacello, their number one. But they seem to have responded quite well in this weekend series, and it really puts them in a good place because they are now, as I go and look at the standings, they remain firmly 2 games in front of Florida A&M, who swept Alabama A&M, and I mean, A&M, FAMU, and Alabama State were tied in second. So Alabama State drops. Grambling State ends up winning 2 of 3 this weekend. So now Grambling State sits 4 games out of first place. So there's a 2-game cushion between first, second, and third. As I go to look here at the schedule again from this past weekend, Grambling State played UAPB. We had seen UAPB be a very hot team going into that series, but Grambling after losing game 1, 6-2, managed to get 2 wins, 8-3 in the second game of the doubleheader on Saturday. And then today they beat UAPB 7-5. So that's a big series win for Grambling State. Also, Southern. Don't sleep on Southern. Getting off the mat, getting a sweep over Texas Southern. That was unexpected. As they beat Texas Southern 5-2. Let me see. Is that series? Let me see. I think I saw G Boom make note of that. What 10-game win streak are you talking about? Jackson State's on a 10-game win streak? They are. Look at that. Well, who are they playing in those midweek games there, Israel? I'm just asking. Don't shoot the messenger. But anyway, congrats. I guess if you can stack wins, it's a good thing. 27-17 overall for Jackson State, 14-10 though, still in the conference. Currently, Jackson State is sitting in the 6th spot, just a hair above Arkansas Pine Bluff in the 7th spot. Southern is in the 8th spot. So a little bit of separation happening in the SWAC, but Bethune-Cookman with 6 games to play has a 2-game lead over Florida A&M. So, Tougaloo, yeah, another game against Tougaloo. Jeez Louise. You guys are funny. All right, let's take our first break. Wow, Lennon, you're off the chain. I don't know if Lennon had a question for you, Drew. I'll let you look in the chats for that. I'm not gonna post that, Lennon. You're doing too much. I'm gonna leave that in the chats, boy. I tell you. All right, when we come back, I'm also doing a little dual TV watching as well. Of course, my Pacers are right now. Game 1 of the Eastern Conference semifinals, 36-25 over Cleveland. Cleveland. That's right. Yes, sirs. All right. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit about what's going on with the softball. There's SWAC, MEAC tournaments about to take place this upcoming week, but the SIC and the CIAA just concluded their tournaments. So we'll talk about those in a moment. Drew, you got one final update. You're on mute, so.
And the NAIA tournament will be, I believe, beginning this week also, and Steelman is in the NAIA tournament, representing the HBCU AC.
Oh, okay, right. That begins this upcoming week.
Yes, if I remember that correctly. I'll check on that during the break.
Okay, let's take our first break of the show. Come back. I'm in my home studio. Drew is on the road at the SIC baseball tournament championship game between Savannah State and Albany State. And we'll give you some more score updates live from that contest when we come back. You're watching the BCSN Sports Wrap right here on the Black College Sports Network. We'll be back in just a moment.
Planning an event? From weddings to corporate functions, CMJ Events LLC brings over 15 years of experience to make your vision a reality. Based in Metro Atlanta and serving statewide, even internationally, we provide versatile event planning and authentic catering cuisines tailored to your needs. Whether it's pre-game meals for student athletes, fundraisers, weddings, corporate functions, CMJ Events LLC is your one-stop solution for exceptional service and unforgettable food. Our diverse culinary heritage means we cater to all cultural tastes, dietary needs, and food restrictions, making every meal uniquely yours. Let's make your next event unforgettable. Visit us on all social media at CMJ Events LLC or email us at cmjeventsllc@gmail.com. Also give us a call at 404-664-3882 so that we can start planning now.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Watson and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
You're looking for the latest information on Southern University sports, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and HBCU athletics. There's only one place to go. Tune in to the Carlos Brown Show, exclusively on the Black College Sports Network.
Thank you guys for what you do for HBCU athletics. This is a fantastic avenue for all of us. This is our ESPN, so we love what you guys do. Bryan, A.D, Roy, all you guys at BCSN. We really appreciate what it is that you guys do for us.
Brian just missed a beautiful 5-4-3 double play here in Macon, Georgia, but the second baseman got hurt on the pivot on that particular play, so we've got a little bit of a pause in action right now.
All right, so again, welcome back to the BCSN SportsWrap. Brian, in my home studio, watching my Pacers with a 10-point lead over Cleveland. Drew is watching me on the road in Macon, Georgia at the 2025 SIC Baseball Tournament Championship game between Savannah State and Albany State. 7-4, bottom of the fifth inning. Again, Savannah State knocked off the four-time defending champ Spring Hill College earlier in the day to get to the championship game for the third consecutive year.
And I want to say shout out to the SIAC and Dr. Holloman for allowing me to go live with our podcast from here in the U.S. Bank Pavilion here inside the stadium.
All right, good deal. Okay, softball. Now, last week the HBCU AC softball tournament had concluded, so we knew that Stillman, the Lady Tigers, had finished off their perfect run in the regular season and the tournament. And then what about the SIAC softball tournament, which took place earlier this week, Drew?
Well, Spring Hill did capture the SIAC softball championship, and Ryan, in softball, I have seen many a times where we had the if game and the team has come out of the losers bracket to win the SIAC tournament, such as this past week, where Spring Hill had to defeat Albany State in the semifinal and then beat Fort Valley twice on the championship day to win the tournament. And I believe Spring Hill actually played 3 games on that day, Brian, to capture that championship.
Right. Neither Spring Hill, who defeated Fort Valley State by a score of 8-4 in the final game to win the championship, neither of those two teams were the division regular season champions. That went to Edward Waters in the East, Tuskegee in the West. Spring Hill actually lost to Fort Valley in the very first game of the tournament by a score of 3-2. So Spring Hill had to work themselves all the way out of the losers bracket to win that tournament, and then face Fort Valley again
Twice.
Right. So
3 times.
Yeah. So that's tough. Congrats to Spring Hill College for getting that done.
Yeah. And Brian, finish off that one. I need to go back to the NAIA when you get a chance.
Yeah, I was just going to mention a young lady, Rika Hinton, was the most valuable player of the tournament for Spring Hill College. All right, go ahead.
NAIA selections will occur on this Wednesday, May 7th. That will be at 6 o'clock Eastern Time on NAIA.org, when their selection show will come out.
Okay. Over to the CIAA. They had their softball tournament, which concluded yesterday. And it was between two familiar opponents. Bowie State University and Claflin University were head-to-head for the fourth consecutive season in the championship game of the CIAA, which the tournament was held in Orangeburg, South Carolina. Let's see. Let me see. I'm just kind of. I know they had to play 2 games, so I'm just looking here. Bowie State would end up winning the championship in the second game, and it would be the third consecutive championship for Bowie State. NCAA softball postseason tournament, which will take place May 22nd to the 28th in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And the rankings and schedules will come out tomorrow for that. That sounded like a good hit, Drew. I don't know, whatever that was. That sounded like a good hit.
That was right. Actually, Brian, you heard correctly. That was in the 5-6 hole and clean single to left field.
All right. Yeah, what's our score at right now?
Top 6, 7-4. 7-4 Albany State. Savannah has its leadoff runner on first base right now.
All right. This week in the Division I softball ranks, you've got softball tournaments happening in the MEAC and the SWAC. Over in the MEAC, of course, the number 1 seed is Norfolk State. Number 1 seed is Howard University, who won their first regular season title in program history. The first and 2 seed, the 1 and 2 seeds get a bye. So there's only 6 teams competing in the tournament beginning Wednesday, May 7th. Norfolk State is the 2 seed. So the 3 seed is Delaware State. They'll take on the 6 seed, South Carolina State, Wednesday morning, 11 a.m. And then game number 2 is between the 4 seed Morgan State and the 5 seed North Carolina Central. Now, game 3, Norfolk State will take on the winner of Delaware State versus South Carolina State. The loser of game number 1 will move to the losers bracket and play on Thursday. Then Howard will take on the winner of Morgan State versus North Carolina Central. The loser of that game will play the loser of the Delaware State, South Carolina State game on Thursday. So the championship game is scheduled for Saturday, May 10th. And we'll see what happens, Drew. There is a possibility, I'm just looking here, that if Howard, I'm just going to use Howard as an example because they are the number 1 seed. If Howard wins on Wednesday, then they win their semifinal game on Thursday. They would not play again until the championship game on Saturday. So whoever wins that semifinal game, which is the 3rd game on Thursday, May 8th, they will advance to Saturday.
Right. Now, Brian, MEAC softball, do they have a if game after the championship just in case?
There is an if game.
Okay.
The championship game is scheduled for noon on Saturday. The if game is scheduled for 3 o'clock should it become necessary. So, for example, whoever that unbeaten team is, should they lose the first game,
they get a second chance. It's the old 2 to get 1 scenario.
Correct. You get 2 to get 1. And
all right, update, Brian.
okay, go ahead. I was
Savannah
trying to
State.
figure out where the MEAC softball tournament is actually being held at, but go ahead.
All right, pass ball. Savannah State has runners on 2nd and 3rd right now. And there are 2 outs on the scoreboard, but I don't remember the 2 outs occurring. So I'm trying to figure this one out.
All right. Well, on the video monitor, it's showing 0 outs. So as I'm watching the game, it's showing 0 outs.
All right, that's just a reflection, Brian. You're correct. I'm seeing things like I'm seeing the balls and strikes, and I can see the difference now. I think they may have turned the lights on here in the park, so which triggered the lights on the scoreboard that were not on earlier.
Okay. I was looking here. I was trying to tell you guys whether where exactly. Okay, the MEAC softball tournament is at Norfolk State softball field. I believe it's on ESPN Plus. All right. Let me jump over to the SWAC on Tuesday. A big day happening on Tuesday, by the way. Great day. May 6th, Tuesday in Gulfport, Mississippi at the Gulfport Sportsplex. SWAC Championship Softball Tournament will begin. Let's see. I'm going to pull up the standings here.
And
what we got.
While you pull up the standings, Brian, you're talking about Tuesday, Brian. I meant to greet you with May the 4th be with you.
Exactly. I put that in the scroll and I forgot to even mention it. Exactly. May the 4th be with everybody.
May the 4th be with you.
Watching.
Cinco de Mayo is tomorrow, and then the national holiday for Brian Fulford is on Tuesday.
Amen.
Man, we just had somebody got caught looking window shopping, as they say. Got to pull that bat off safety, Brian.
All right. Here is the SWAC softball tournament. The number 1 seed from the Western Division, of course, is Prairie View A&M, 21-3 record. The number 1 seed from the East Division, Florida A&M, 19-5 SWAC record. The bracket will break out in the opening day on Tuesday. It's a battle of East versus West. The only time that East and West are guaranteed to play each other all season. That's a shame. I'm just going to put it out there and say it for the last time.
I've got a solution for that, Brian.
Let's give it now before I get into giving these matchups.
All right, first of all, I got to back up for a second. You mentioned, wait a minute, ground ball up the middle. That's going to plate 1, and he holds them up at 3rd. So we have a 7-5 score, 1st and 3rd with 1 out here in the top of the 6th inning, Brian. Anyway, before I get into that, Brian, we got to give kudos, and I'm not sounding like a homer when I say this, to Florida A&M softball program. 2 regular season championships in a row under 2 separate coaches. Brian, I don't think people realize how hard that is, especially in today's transfer portal NIL age. 20 years ago, I could see it. Today, that is tough, Brian. 2 championships under two separate head coaches.
And I'll add to that, after talking to head coach Brittany Beal on Wednesday's O&G Strike Zone, she didn't start until October. So she took over the program October 1.
As is with, literally she said like she had maybe 7 to 10 days before fall ball started. So talk about, first off, some great, the character of the young ladies in the program who were already there. They really only had 1 grad assistant who was sort of there. Yeah, she didn't even get a chance to bring her own staff on initially. It took
Not
time.
right. Yeah, it took a
bring that.
minute. It took about a month or two before she got her own staff. But the veteran leadership of that team really helped them be where they are, and so it definitely was a great job. And so now it'll be interesting to kind of watch what they do in the SWAC tournament. Okay, so here.
So you have to just last thing on that. You have to give a shout out to Coach P, the previous coach, for setting such a great foundation there at Florida A&M, where those girls who stayed were able to do what they needed to do
Camise Patterson, right?
Yeah,
right. You're talking about Camise Patterson, who's the current head coach at Alabama State. She
And
definitely left the cupboards full. She definitely left the cupboards full.
We just had a double, Brian. Played it 2, and I believe I should have played it 2. Did I lose a runner there somewhere? Anyway, looks like the score is 7-6 now, Brian. Yes, they only played it 1. I'm sorry. It's 7-6. Also, Brian, here's my schedule format before you get into it. All right. SWAC has 12 teams, correct?
Yes.
All right. We are so used to seeing divisions. Brian, let's break them up into 3-team pots. 4 3-team pots. All right. And I'm just going to give you an example. You take a pod, Florida A&M, Bethune-Cookman, and geographically the next closest person is going to be Alabama State. There's an RBI signal in the right field, and that's going to play another run. Now we have a 1-run ball game here, Brian. So you are you said 14 or 14 and a half, Brian?
I told you to take the 14 and a half and play it over.
Okay. You're at 13 right now, Brian. So
14 and a half is going to happen. You're going. That's an easy cover.
Correction, bad math on my part. You're at 14 right now.
Yeah.
And we are definitely going to we're going to get over because the score is tied. So we're going to have to get at least one more run. So your over is already there, Brian. Anyway, take your 3-team pod. Florida A&M, Bethune, and Alabama State. They play those teams play each other twice. So in a home and home. That would be 6 games, correct, Brian? Because you would play the other 2 teams twice. 3 home, 3 away. So that would be 12 games, right?
Okay.
So there's 12 teams. You take the next pod on your half of the division. A Alabama State. Who's left on the east side? Alabama State, Jackson
Mississippi
State,
Valley State,
and Mississippi Valley State. Those are you play them 1 series, Brian. So that gives you 3 more games. You play them 1 series. That brings you up to 21 games, Brian. Correct?
Okay. Yeah.
And then you have 6 teams on the other side. Correct?
Yep.
You play a crossover with those other teams. No. Yeah, you play Let me back that up, Brian.
You have this written down? Have you written this thing down, or is this like off the top of your head?
No, I did it earlier. I backed it up. Those 3 teams that you have, you play them 4 times, Brian. That's what it is.
All right, start from the beginning again because you lost me. You completely lost me.
We're gonna take Florida A&M, correct?
All right, let's take A&M.
You play Bethune 6 times. You play Alabama State 6 times.
Okay.
That's 12, correct?
Yes.
You play Jackson 4 times. You play Mississippi Valley 4 times.
Okay.
You play Alabama A&M 4 times. That brings you to
12.
That brings you to 24, correct?
Okay.
You play 1 crossover. You play everybody on the West 1 time in a crossover. That brings you to 30, Brian.
Okay. Well, where are you going to play these crossover games at, though?
I mean, you would find a neutral spot somewhere in Mississippi or Alabama, because that's the geographic center of the conference.
All right. EA, I don't know that we can't afford travel expenses. Yeah, I keep hearing this.
It has to be there enough where you budget it out. It's not, if you put it on people now, it will be tough because most schools' budgets have already been submitted. But if this was something that they decided to do now and it goes into effect in 26, you could do the proper planning, fundraising, and budgeting for 26. Excuse me, for 27. For 27.
Okay, yeah, I have not seen a school not be able to make. I mean, and we've seen a couple of different variations of some scheduling format over the last couple of years, and we always find a way. The schools find a way. Maybe it's a strain, maybe it's a little bit of a challenge in where it's going to come from, but I do think we always find the funds. The money's always found. I would just go simply, Drew. I would go to one series. Honestly, I would go to one series, similar to what baseball does.
Right. And the reason I said it the way I said it was, you want to talk about that for the travel. You're only adding one extra travel, and that would be the crossover, Brian, because you're already playing those other teams multiple times, home and home anyway. So your travel would be the same, be it you playing them 6 games or be it you playing them 4 games. That travel is going to be the same. Actually, that travel is going to be a little bit less because there's one less night in the hotel if you just play a doubleheader for those 2 games instead of a back-to-back day. So the only additional travel that you would be talking about will possibly be wherever that crossover is at. I didn't say go to everybody one time. I say go to one neutral site crossover spot.
All right.
Play each team once. You get a clean look at them before the tournament, and you actually get a chance to live scout the other division before the tournament also, instead of going in based on tape and stats only.
Okay. Let me go ahead and go through the rundown of the games beginning Tuesday, May 6th. Again, East versus West matchups. You take the top 4 from the East and the top 4 from the West, and you basically have the 1 seed from the East playing the 4 seed from the West, the 1 seed from the West playing the 4 seed in the East. So what does that look like? And then you have the 2 3s playing each other. So game number 1 is the Western 2 seed, which is Texas Southern, taking on the Eastern 3 seed, Alabama State. Games will begin at 10:30 a.m. Central Time. Game number 2, the Eastern team number 2, that is Jackson State, the defending SWAC softball tournament champions, taking on West seed number 3, Southern University. That's scheduled for 1 p.m. All of these games are scheduled to be broadcast on the SWAC digital network, by the way. Then game number 3 in the afternoon, Florida A&M, the champions of the East, the 1 seed, taking on Grambling State, the West 4 seed. And Grambling State had to do a little work because there were some games that had to be made up. But Grambling State ended up getting enough wins that they needed. And Arkansas Pine Bluff ended up losing to Southern, I believe, the last makeup game on Saturday, I think it was. And so Grambling State ended up as the 4 seed from the West. That game is 3:30. And game number 4 is the West number 1, Prairie View, taking on the East number 4, Bethune-Cookman. That's at 6 o'clock. So after that game, then you move into 4 teams in the losers bracket, and then you have a semifinals in the champion or in the winners bracket. So on Wednesday, May 7th, 2 team seasons will come to an end. That will be game 5 and 6 that begin. Again, the schedule begins at 10:30 a.m., ends at 6 p.m. And then you have Thursday, which is some winners and losers. You have winners from the losers bracket to the new losers from out of the semifinals of the winners bracket. Plus, you also get your first matchup between two unbeaten teams on Thursday, May 8th, in which someone will advance to the championship game, which is right now scheduled for Friday, May 9th. But that, again, there is an if game on Saturday, May 10th. Should the team who comes out of the winner's bracket lose the first game on Friday, May 9th, nope, the second game on Friday, May 9th, that's a 2:30 game. Should the winning team from that bracket end up losing, that'll be their first loss, and then there will be a championship, if necessary, on Saturday, May 10th. So go to SWAC.org if you want to see that in visual. I didn't get time to download the graphic on that. So.
Yeah, and Brian, I am here. The sun is directly at my back, so it was interfering with my shot. So I decided to cut my camera off until the sun moves. So, give it about 15 minutes. I'll cut my camera on, but I am here with you, audio.
All right, sounds good. Again, SWAC.org, and I believe the the awards for the baseball season, softball season will come out tomorrow. Most of the teams will arrive in Gulfport tomorrow. The SWAC usually does an evening ceremony with all the teams, and they'll have an awards night tomorrow evening. All right, so again, Drew is live in Macon, Georgia. We have a tie ball game right now, 7-7. Seventh inning. You can go to siacnetwork.tv if you're interested in watching any of this game that's happening in the SIAC baseball tournament. And it looks like it's going to be a fascinating finish in the final 3 innings. So I would strongly encourage you, while you're watching us, also flip on another channel, another tab, and click over to siacnetwork.tv. Good stuff. All right. Anything on the diamond that we didn't get to? I think I covered a lot of stuff related to baseball and softball. A non-baseball story here. Lawrence drops this nugget for us that Fort Valley State will take on number 1 Long Beach State Thursday in the 2025 NCAA Men's Volleyball Championship. So Fort Valley State, the champions of the SIAC Men's Volleyball, that is Thursday on ESPN Plus. That's not WSPN. That's not women's. That's ESPN Plus. Probably just a typo.
And that's men's volleyball.
Men's volleyball, exactly. We don't. I saw that there's some beach volleyball going on. Do we have any HBCUs doing beach volleyball right now?
Outside of Florida Memorial, I don't think so, Brian.
That's a shame.
Let me kill this camera again till the sun moves. Also, one other thing, Brian, on the diamond, the HBCU Final Four, which there's a shot down the left field line, and it is gone. Home run.
Albany State just takes the lead again, 8-7.
As you can see, the end of the home run trot. Let's see if I can catch the celebration. I don't know how clear that is for you guys. That home run was to left center, Brian. Actually, to left field. Probably it's 330 to down the left field line. I would say that ball went about 355 or so to clear the wall with ease, Brian.
That was a 2-run homer because I'm just seeing.
Yes, okay. That was a 2-run homer.
Okay, because my feed is a bit behind you, and I see that there was a runner that got hit by a pitch who ended up on first. So it's a 2-run homer.
Correct.
So,
Hey, and Brian, we have officially hit the over now.
I told you, I told you, 14 and a half. I know a little something. Every now and then I can be dangerous.
Yeah.
But again.
But getting back to my last diamond note, the HBCU Final Four presented by Minority Baseball Prospects will occur in Montgomery, Alabama. That will be Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. On Thursday, Morehouse will take on Dillard at 10 o'clock Eastern. That's 8 a.m. And at 1 o'clock, you will have Miles and Tuskegee. This is an invitational tournament this year. On Fridays, Morehouse takes on Miles at 10 a.m., followed by Tuskegee and Dillard at 1 p.m. And then on Saturday, there will be a third place game at 2 o'clock Eastern time, and then a championship game at 6 o'clock Eastern time, Brian. And that occurs at Riverwalk Stadium in Montgomery, Alabama. That is formerly the stadium where the Black College World Series was held at. Black College World Series moved to Rockabilly Stadium in Jackson, Tennessee, and unfortunately was canceled this year due to the death of the proprietor of the Black College World Series.
Okay.
Why was the Black College? Oh, I'll answer
that. I was going to say that answered the question that Blue Jacket for Life had. Why was the series moved? Well, you just sort of given some breaking news that the series was actually canceled.
Right, but it was moved. There was a 3-year contract in Montgomery, and that contract concluded after the 2024 Black College World Series, and Jackson came through with an offer to move the tournament. So you know how that goes.
Yep.
Cash moves everything around me.
All right, let's take our last break, Drew, and get ready to wrap it up coming out of the break, because I know you want to get into watching the final stanza. So we're going to close up with any final news and notes that you want to go through. Maybe we talked about a few things that are going to be happening this upcoming week. But let's get ready to take our last break, come back, and conclude with a final segment here. You're watching the BCSN SportsWrap right here on the Black College Sports Network. We'll be back in just a moment.
Since 2002, Empowerment Resources, Inc., a nonprofit organization, has empowered more than 1,500 youth and adults in Duval and surrounding counties. Through its programs, Journey into Womanhood, Girls Mentoring, Life Skills for Teens, and Parenting Education Coaching. To get involved with programs, volunteer, or donate, visit www.empowermentresourcesinc.org. Follow us on social media, facebook.com/empowerment.resources and Instagram.com/empowermentJAX.
The human voice has always connected audiences with experiences. Major brands all across America have trusted Kever's voice time and time again. Conversational, powerhouse, intelligent, and sincere. That's the voice you need for your creative marketing process. KEAVERSVOICE.com. Kever's Voice, Kever's Voice, KeversVoice.com. Always on, all the time.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids' apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit HBCUPrideJoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
When it comes to professional learning, teachers deserve better. From the leader in online learning, Stride brings you the Stride Professional Development Center, an on-demand library of mobile-friendly courses that gives teachers choice and flexibility, allowing them to learn anytime and anywhere. Our dynamic courses provide bite-sized learning and help educators advance their knowledge while also gaining professional development hours. It's time you take charge of your learning. Visit us today to
All right, welcome back to the BCSN SportsWrap. Bryan Fulford in my home studio. Drew is on location at the 2025 SIAC Baseball Tournament Championship game between Savannah State and Albany State. What a game. It is 9-7 after Albany State hits a 2-run homer in the bottom of the 6th inning to break up a 7-7 game. Drew, you care to give us any live updates? I am watching the game also on SIACnetwork.tv. So I want to encourage anybody who's interested in watching this game. It's going to be a fascinating game, the final 3 innings.
Is this too much sun behind me?
No, you're perfect. You got a good spot right now.
No,
Sweet
but when
spot.
I do that,
Don't do that. Don't do that. Stay right there.
All right, now let me get.
Nope, messed it up. You messed it up.
Yeah, but see, what you don't see, Brian, is the actual glare off of my iPad in my eyes, and I'm trying to put up with it. And we just had another run. Okay, let me reset this, Brian. Savannah State made a pitching change, and what does Albany State do on the first pitch after the pitching change, Brian? They laid out a perfect surprise bunt. It was not a sacrifice. It was a bunt for a hit. Runner gets on. Then, so you have runners on first and second. They advance to second and third on a wild pitch. And we just had another run scored by Albany State on a wild pitch to give Albany State a 3-run cushion with a runner on second base and 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
All right.
So,
good stuff.
But I did have an observation that I wanted to bring out, Brian. It's something that I noticed when I'm especially baseball, when I go to a lot of baseball games live. And let's see, there's a shot to right center field. That one might hit to the wall, and it's off the base of the wall, everybody. That's going to be a stand-up double right there. Albany State is going to play another run.
I'm telling you, you guys should definitely be watching. You should have another browser tab open. Those of you, if you're watching us and you can, get another browser tab open for the SIACnetwork.tv.
Cast the SIAC network to your TV and then look at us on your iPad or your telephone. That's what you do right now.
There you go. Or you might want to check if you have a Roku or something like that. Go check and see if there is a Roku. Okay, nope. Okay, let me stop.
No, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time.
Stop right there.
We just got the network this year, one step at a time.
All right, I'm asking too much. Asking for too much already.
You asking entirely too much.
I appreciate you.
But anyway, one thing I noticed is your head coaches for baseball. Have you ever noticed most of your coaches nowadays coach for the dugout, but you still have some coaches who like to get on either the first base or the third base line? Hey! You didn't see that fly past me, did you?
No, I didn't actually. No.
Yeah, that ball just flew about 10 feet from my head, man.
You did good not to cuss on that one.
I did, didn't I? You can get yourself a pat on the back on that one, man.
There you go.
But yeah, no, it's just something to notice how many coaches actually coach from the box still versus coaching from the dugout. We have two contrasting styles here. Coach Scott Hemming from Albany State likes to coach from third base box, and Coach Tino Virgos at Savannah State, he's a dugout coach. So just interesting to see how different flows go for these coaches.
Am I Jeremiah? Is that what I'm doing?
Lawrence, are you serious?
Lawrence is asking, is a 1-bid league?
Why did he even, Lawrence? Why did you even waste your fingers typing that question?
Just trying to be funny.
And
Trying to be
then,
funny.
and then he
Or
gonna
either,
say this
or either
season,
he's hoping one of the
this
two.
season, any season. Now, seriously, though, Brian, Spring Hill, did they do enough during the regular season to actually get an at-large since they did not win the tournament? Spring Hill came into the tournament number 10 in the South Region Division 2, so I doubt very seriously that they get it at large, but there's always hope. And we've got a hit batter right there. So
Savannah State's pitching is just falling apart right now.
2 games in 1 day, Brian.
Man, it's tough.
And this is 4 games within about 30 hours for Savannah State, Brian.
All right. Let me transition for a minute. A couple of notes regarding football, because I know some of you guys we're always salivating for football info, but I did want to kind of come back and just briefly make mention of a lot of the NFL rookie camps are going to be starting up this upcoming week, probably next weekend, maybe Thursday going into the weekend. And I have not seen any new names. I'm checking the FCS Football Central undrafted free agent signing tracker, and I have not seen any new names added to that. What I have seen, though, I've seen some new names added to the rookie minicamp invitee list. One name that stuck out, Grambling State quarterback Miles Crawley getting a invite to the New York Giants camp. I found that kind of interesting. So, congrats to him. I did see that Carson Vincent of Alabama A&M, I saw that he signed his contract with the Baltimore Ravens. So congrats to him. You guys in the chat, let me know, have you seen any new names over the past weekend? I don't think I have. So, but as of right now, the FCS tracker says that 94 minicamp invites have been issued to FCS players. 62 undrafted free agent contracts have been signed. You don't believe the Giants want him, huh? Well, why would they invite him to camp, though, Jeremiah? Why would they invite him to camp? Explain that. I would imagine with everything that the Giants have, they're open to anybody that can reasonably throw the ball. Anyway, speaking of Grambling, I'm reading from the Grambling State Athletic Communications via HBCU Game Day. The Grambling State University football team will open the 25 season in the Shreveport Kickoff Classic versus Langston University at Independence Stadium, 7 p.m. August 30th in Shreveport, Louisiana. The game marks a return to Shreveport for Grambling, who last competed in the Shreveport Classic in 2022 when they defeated Northwestern State 47-21. Grambling State has played 20 games in the city of Shreveport and sports a 16-3-1 all-time record there. Wow. The last time Grambling and Langston played. Drew, put your thing on mute, if you will. The last time,
and that cheering was because Albany State just played the 2 more runs.
Okay, the lead continues to grow. Again,
yes,
cashing on the over in game.
6-6 so far.
Wow. All right. The last time Grambling and Langston played each other, let's see, they played 6 times since 1977. The G-Men have a 5-1 series lead. They last met in 2008. Grambling State only won 13-2. Whoa. Little note here, the Shreveport Kickoff Classic has its roots in the former Red River State Fair Classic, which began in 1911. So again,
Brian, Savannah State right now is falling apart. Sorry to cut you off. Another pass ball / wild pitch has added another run, Brian. They have doubled their score in 1 inning.
wow. Totally missed out on playing the Albany State run total over 12.
Well, Brian, did you see the score yesterday between these two?
I did not.
The score was 23-8 yesterday.
Oh, God.
Yes.
Football score.
Obviously, you didn't read my article on Black College Now.
You know what? Hold on a minute. I'm not. No, I just didn't know there were so many baseball games, Drew. I saw the 23-8. I just did not remember or associate it with Savannah State and Albany State. But I do recall, now that you reminded me, I did read the article. I remember 23-8. I just, over my head. But yeah. So, all right. Was that a bases clearing? That was a bases clearing triple or double?
Brian, the bleeding has finally stopped. And after 6 complete, Albany State 14, Savannah 7.
How crazy is this, Drew? The 10-run rule is in effect now. It's in play. I mean, it's close. It's close. It's a reality.
Except I don't think the 10-run rule applies in the championship game.
Oh my God.
Because I have been, unless they added it in this year, because I have had a 10-run rule game in the championship before, where a team just totally ran out of pitching, and we had to play all 9. We're gonna find out real soon if should Albany State hold and add 3 runs in the bottom of the 7th, whether the 10-run rule is in effect.
All right. Did you see the story about the former 5-star recruit, the 2019 Gatorade National Player of the Year from out of Marietta High School, Georgia, who's actually going to be transferring to Savannah State University? Did you see that story?
No, I did not.
All right. Wally Pitt, of course, of HBCU Game Day, wrote this article a few days back. Eric Gilbert is the young man's name. A former top 10 national recruit announced that he was transferring to Savannah State, which, of course, Savannah State is a Division II school. But Gilbert was a standout tight end at Marietta High School in Georgia. He was the 2019 Gatorade National Player of the Year. He had 243 receptions, 35-40 in terms of yards caught, 35 touchdowns in his high school career. He was a 5-star rated athlete, initially committed to LSU, where he started 8 games as a freshman back in 2020. He opted out of the remainder of the 20 season after playing in 8 games. Then he transferred to Georgia, set out the 2021 season. Then in 2022, made limited appearances. Then he found his way, moved to Nebraska in 2023, had a little run-in with the law out there, and then hit the transfer portal in December of 2024. So, here's a young man who's back home in the state of Georgia. When all else fails, where do you always come to? Always find your way
back to Mama House.
Always find your way back to an HBC.
Exactly. Brian, and 2 questions. Number one, how many years does he have left? Because given what you said,
I've lost count.
I mean,
well, it sounds like there was a year where he didn't even play at all. So
2 years.
I don't even know if he was in school or played a year at all. So
Right. So,
I don't know.
and in these days, he's gonna get all those years back. The way the NCAA gives out waivers, they give out waivers like ice cream candy, ice cream bars, or something like that, man. So, shout out to Savannah State for doing what they got to do. Let me think. Yes, I believe they are on our schedule this year. So I guess I will give you a live scouting report up here.
All right. Speaking of transfers, this time from the Division II level up to the Division I level, we might have talked about this last week. Former Morehouse College star Cedric Taylor II will transfer to Howard University, sort of taking over the spot that was left open by the departure of Blake. What was the young man from Howard? Blake. What was Blake's last name? I forgot it already.
You talking about the freshman?
Yeah, the young man freshman from Howard.
I know who you're talking about. I can't remember his name, but I do remember who you're talking about. He was a 3-4 for Howard.
All right. And did you see that, speaking of hoops, Diamond Johnson, HBCU Player of the Year from Norfolk State, did you see that she signed a deal 1 year with the Minnesota Lynx? With the Lynx.
She's actually signed.
So she made the roster, signed a deal. Congratulations, Diamond. You kind of saw that happening. I mean, really.
So we've got our first HBCU.
It was Blake Harper. Thank you, Ed. Blake Harper. Harper.
So we've got our first HBCU WNBA player in over 20 years then, Brian?
What's the story to Zay Green? Did Zay Green make the roster, or did she sign a contract with the Washington? What is that? The
Mystics.
Mystics. Yeah. Here's a random known little fact about the WNBA. Did you know that they were expanding from 40 to 44 games this year?
No, I did not.
All right. Well, just put that one in your back pocket when you're at the bar having a conversation with somebody that's interested in WNBA basketball.
Lauren says Minnesota Lynx still got to make cuts.
Okay. Well, thanks for pouring some hot water on that one, Lauren.
And I think WNBA opens up next week, if I remember correctly, Brian.
It's around the corner. I mean, they're playing preseason games right now. Usually it's that would make sense.
Yeah. So I think if they ever get it up to about, I want to see it get up to about a 50-game schedule. I think that 48 to 50 games would be a good number for the W.
All right. I'm looking at this article that Tali Carr posted on HBCU Game Day. HBCU hoops coach resigns after just 7 wins in 3 years. That's a hell of a headline. That is a hell of a headline. I mean, I don't even want to go into that story, but you can go to HBCU Game Day and read about that. I'm sure you can probably imagine, and that's a women's basketball team and coach. So I mean, you could probably draw your own references on where that occurred. All right. I think we've gone through enough little tidbits for now, Drew. Like I said, I want to give you time to kind of finish doing what you're doing and see whether Savannah State can pull off the most improbable. If it wasn't already improbable earlier in the game, now it might really seem improbable. But again, I'm predicting, Drew, we get at least 3 more runs. So there's a total of 21 runs right now. I'm saying play over 25 runs, Drew. For anybody that's, again, if you find that local shop that'll let you bet down on Division II baseball, take the over 25 runs because I got a feeling there's more runs to come in this contest.
Well, Brian, Savannah has 2 on with 2 out right now in the top of the 7th inning. So we see if somebody can get a 2-out RBI here.
All right. My Pacers are doing well right now. Game 1 on the road. Tonight, Game 7, Houston versus Golden State. Any thoughts? Who do you got winning tonight, Drew? Houston or Golden State?
Do you go with the Young Bucks in Houston, or do you go with the wily veterans? Because they looked veteran yesterday. I mean, not yesterday, day before yesterday. And Bryan, can we take a couple of minutes to get into some basketball, some NBA basketball, since we covered just about all of my HBCU news?
All right, very, very quick, because I do want to get somewhere where I can watch the fourth quarter.
All right. So, obviously a lot of the talk has been about the Lakers with LeBron and Luka and everything else.
Really? Who's talking about that? I haven't heard anybody talk about that. Go ahead. I'm messing.
Yes, but Luka got to get in shape. That's all you keep hearing. But there's a shot to left field. That one might touch the wall, y'all. And it is. It's off the middle of the wall. And they might get him at second base. No. So we're in. Only one run was able to score on that, Bryan. So that is an RBI double there for Savannah State. So
22. I told you, played over 25.
So the
over 24 and a half.
The faucet is still on, Bryan, and no one can seem to solve this pitching and defense situation. And Coach Scott Hemmings from Albany State is coming to the mound. Let's see if he's going to make a change, everybody.
Well, get back to your point. I know. That's why I said get to your NBA point, because I want to let you get back to this game, and then we can kind of put this show to bed.
All right. Here's the thing. I was thinking about the Lakers, and the Lakers are a proud franchise, and traditionally they have let their stars kind of dictate their path away from the game. I mean, even you go back to the 70s with Wilt Chamberlain, Jerry West, Elgin Baylor. They just kind of let those guys dictate. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Magic, unfortunately, had to cut his short, but even James Worthy was able to kind of dictate it into Kobe. And, they traded Shaq away during just after the prime of his career. But, Kobe was able to dictate it. What's going to happen with LeBron? Now, I think of two different situations. Are the Lakers the Boston Celtics of the 80s and 90s, where they let Larry Bird, oh, my God, right through the 5-hole, y'all? That's going to play another run for Savannah State. Anyway, the Boston Celtics of the late 80s and 90s, where they let Larry Bird stayed around a little bit too long, and they didn't have a plan for succession. Well, they had plans for succession. Unfortunately, they had those players succumb to other tragedies off the court, a la Len Bias and Reggie Lewis. And then I also think about the Detroit Pistons of the 90s, when Isaiah Thomas got hurt and they just fell off the wagon. What's going to become of the Lakers, Bryan? Is Luka going to be the savior and be the person that they rebuild? Or are they going to fall off the wagon, Bryan, when LeBron gives it up?
I don't know what I can't focus on the Lakers right now, Drew. I'm sorry.
We've got one across. So there's a single into the right field corner. We have another run across for the Tigers. We have first and third. So we've had about 3 runs scored here with 2 outs in the top of the 7th, Bryan. So what was that you were saying about the 10-run rule, Bryan?
Never mind. There it is. I want to encourage you all.
Second trip to the mound, so that means we're going to have a new pitcher, everybody.
All right. Well, that's a perfect time for us to kind of put this show to bed. Again, I'm going to encourage you to go to SIACnetwork.tv and
Charles Ward on the call.
You can watch this game. Charles Ward on the call, making him work for that money today, boy. I'm telling you what. Charles doing some yeoman's work out there. But hey, the score right now 14-8. Savannah State.
14-10, Brian.
Okay, well, I'm even behind in the TV that I'm watching is behind then.
14-10.
14-10. Okay, so go check this game out. Again, go check out all of Drew's articles on blackcollegenines.com. And yeah, that's going to do it for tonight's show.
Abbreviated. Brian, we out of here in less than 2 hours.
Abbreviated show. That's right. Abbreviated
is that
show.
what we got to do? One of us got to get on the road?
Yeah. Or the Pacers need to be playing. The combination of the Pacers playing and one of us on the road always helps. So I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed and be nervous, chewing on my fingernails in the fourth quarter, because Pacers in game ones of these kind of series against the number one overall or these type of games, they always make me nervous. So anyway, what? Oh, yeah. Thankfully, Papa Halliburton is not in the building, so we don't have to worry about him. He's watching the same place I am from the couch, and I hope it's going to stay like that for the rest of the playoffs.
I bet you his couch is a lot more luxurious than your couch.
I wouldn't. I don't know. Don't speak too shabbily about my couch, Drew. It's not too bad now. All right. So hey. Thank you guys for watching the show tonight. Thanks for checking in with us. Make sure to hit the thumbs up and the like button, however and wherever you're watching the show, whether it be on YouTube or Facebook. And do me a favor, go share the show. Let people know about the Black College Sports Network, because somebody doesn't know about us, and that's a shame. We've been doing this show for well about 8 years now, and so you'd be doing us a solid if you share the show. And one last request. If you're a podcast listener, go check out the BCSN Pod Zone on Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, everywhere that you watch and listen to podcasts. Go download and subscribe to the BCSN Pod Zone, where you can hear not only our show, the Carlos Brown Show, which was yesterday. So if you missed it, go check it out. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab. And then the O&G Strike Zone on Wednesday evenings. All right.
I'm going to try to get us up out this inning, Brian. If we can hold on for another minute, let's see. At least get through this at bat. See if Savannah State is able to play any additional runs. They've got runners on second and third with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. See if we can take it into the 7th inning stretch. 2 balls, 1 strike is your count. Once again, runners on second and third. Savannah State has played it 3 runs here at the top of the 7th inning. And here's your pitch. Low and outside for ball 3. 3 balls. 1 strike is your count, everybody. Just trying to get a little practice in for my play-by-play, Brian. I do a lot of play-by-play over the summer, and got to see if I can do a little radio play-by-play. All right, the 3-1. Call, strike 2. We're full. 3 runs, 2 strikes is your count. First base is open here. The stretch. And the pitch. In the dirt for ball 4. It gets past the catcher. We're going to get 1 run's going to score. And they're going to get another runner around. Catcher can't find the ball, throws, and he is safe. The batter runner winds up on second base, everybody. Wow. All right, again, I'm going to take you out on that one, Brian.
Look, again, get to your screens now, SIACnetwork.tv, and watch this. This is going to be an amazing finish. This has got Instant Classic written all over it.
A classic, Brian? Is that what you want to call it?
Well, look, Instant Classic. I said Instant Classic. I'm using that their word. All right. Appreciate you, Drew. Man, be safe going home. Enjoy Make sure you're following Drew at BCSN Drew. I know he'll be posting some photos and might even do some live post-game video stuff after the game.
And make sure you catch my recap on Black College Nines, not only for the HBCU AC tournament, but also a recap of the SIAC tournament also on blackcollegenines.com.
All right. For A.D. Drew, I'm Bryan Fulford. Thanks for watching tonight. Have a great week, everybody. Peace out. May the 4th be with you. Celebrating strong 51 seasons coming up on Tuesday. God bless y'all. Peace out.
Travel light, everybody. We'll holler.